Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. Today, I think this is the first time we have this combination. We have myself, Bharos, and Sinzar. Say hi, guys.
Hey,
Sinzar, don't be shy.
did we lose Sinzar? Did
I
he
said
die?
I said what's up.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ah.
it didn't catch it.
it's unusual, but yes. Hello.
I have a bit of news. Bharos, you should be
Yeah.
proud of me. I've
Okay.
put down a down payment for a Polestar 2. That
Oh,
means
wow, nice.
I myself have now contributed to Sweden's GDP. Possibly.
Well, you have. Yeah, it's a very nice car. I actually did some collaboration with Polestar engineers not that long ago. It's a very nice car. Congratulations. It's a very expensive car, though, but it's a very nice one.
In Canada, considering most EVs are priced like that, it's not the most egregious pricing, actually, especially compared to like other luxury cars.
Yeah, I mean, it's priced similarly to any premium EV, definitely. So yeah. Anyway, welcome to the EV podcast where we rank and rate different electric vehicles. Today we're doing the Pulsar 2.
We also got a global exclusive EV. We can talk about that too.
Yes. We actually have. I lost my train of thought. That's how good I am at this. Oh yeah. Because I was gonna say, are you sure this is the first time we did this version of the man train? Like me, you, and Sinzar?
No, I've never been in a room with so much sexy people at once, so I'm like kind of struggling right now to keep my pants in.
Yeah, it's like I am sweating. Honestly, like I don't know, like listeners are gonna be struggling with this one, but like it's okay to take a break, take a wank, and come back. Like that's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
But anyways, that excitement aside, we do have a Beach Blaster Olive. Nobody asked for Swimsuit Olive. I don't think nobody ever asked for this. And then we got MBAs for Ruby Conte and Barbarisha.
So why did we get like a summer olive? Like for real? Like why did we get a summer unit? Because summer is kind of over in the world where there was summer, right? So
it's probably to like overlap with the War of the Visions collaboration because War of the Visions is getting Summer Jaden, and they decided to not spend time doing a global exclusive War of the Visions unit, so we just got like a reskinned global exclusive instead.
Well, first of all, I much prefer a global exclusive unit, even if it's summer reskinned, rather than getting War of the Visions unit. I'm just gonna go out and say that because, like, yeah.
Even if it's Summer Jaden, like Jaden without his top and his speedo.
I mean, listen.
Hot.
Jaden is hot, but also like if you want to look at him, you're gonna be playing War of the Visions, right? Like you're not gonna be. You don't want that pixely shit in here. Although to be honestly, we do have way too few male summer units. We do. Like,
yeah.
How many can you even think of? I can like only think of Laswell and Nicole, right? Are there more?
No, I think that's it because like JP never released male summer units. JP always releases female summer units.
Correct. Yep, just those.
Really? Huh. Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah, that's really bad, actually. Like we are due. Like I can imagine like rugged Tyvus. Okay. Listen, let's not go down this road. Let's instead talk about Beach Blaster Olive. So, Shadow, did you notice how fucking horny the Gumi guy was when he started naming these abilities?
Oh yeah, dude, juicy melons.
Yeah, juicy melons, shiny melons. There is a cleansing cannon. I mean, sorry, Sinzar. I'm so sorry for you having to go through this, but like this is what you should have been expecting when you heard it was me and Shadow.
I can't believe you're overlooking giant melon ammo.
Giant melon ammo. Oh my god. Yeah. Even flaming melons has like sounds kind of like a weird drink you'd get at a like tropical bar.
Okay, but shining melons? Have you ever seen shining melons?
Coconut oil, I think says it all.
Well, and the best part is, after you finish all quad casting all of these abilities, you cap it off with a dual summer shot.
So honestly, like this was a very horny person that wrote these abilities. Like a lot of thirst shining through these abilities. But yeah, I mean, so just why don't we talk a bit about the sprite? You usually talk about the sprite, Shadow. So how do you feel about the sprite? I mean, first, just to preface this, your opinions are absolute shit, and nobody should ever listen to them. But what do you feel? How do you feel about the sprite?
Okay, so here's the thing about the sprite. At first glance, it kind of looks like a copy-paste of the old Olive sprite, but then you see that the animations are a bit unique, which I give them props for. But again, I don't think anyone ever wanted a bikini Olive. I don't know where this idea came from. Somebody at Gumi is a much bigger degenerate than any of us thought it could be possible.
Oh, I think Sinzar is absolutely right here. Like they just had to have like I think Olive was just planned to be the next GLEX unit probably, and then they needed a summer unit to kind of pair up with Jaden since he was a summer unit in War of the Visions.
I think she's not the worst because it's better than Roberta. I'll say that.
Like Jesus Christ, you should just not talk. That would be so much more pleasant. No, so I actually agree with you a bit here on that. The anime. Actually, I found that the animations have a bit of a. I'm not gonna say Easter egg to it, but like a touch of nostalgia because she has a different stance and a much bigger sprite than her original sprite. But while doing her LB animation, she kind of gets into this exactly identical stance that old Olive gets into, and that nostalgia actually got me. So I thought that was pretty cute. I thought that was like a nice homage to the original unit.
So now that we talked about the sprite, we should talk about the TMR and STMR. Muspel's favorite topic.
No. First, I need to know if Sinzar pulled on this unit.
I did, and I had pretty good luck too. So I should most likely have an EX3 by the time VIP coins come out.
Wow, did you go all until pity or?
Yeah, I was basically going to go to the card no matter what, and then like if I had happened to get like 4 olives along the way to the card, I would have stopped there, but I didn't. So I had to keep going. But then I got another one as I kept going, and then at that point I was close to the pity, so I'm like, okay, a little bit more, get the pity, and yep, that should be EX3 in 2 weeks.
So how many olives did you end up with?
3.
3. Wow, very nice, very nice. So I actually shittered a bit on this banner too. I only went to card and I got 2 olives, so I'm pretty happy.
Nice.
Now that we have the daily dungeon, that's not too far off on EX3 actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty happy.
Congratulations.
So Shadow, how about you?
No. I spent all my lapis on Fawn.
Oh, okay. So you cannot, you will not obtain the juicy melons.
No juicy melons for me. I only get a fist that looks like a spear.
Nobody will be finishing you with a dual summer shot.
No, sadly not. Not this summer. Maybe next summer.
Wow. This sounds like a sucky summer for you, my man.
Sucky suck.
Yeah. So, how about the unit? Is it actually any good? I mean, Sinzar pulled on it, so that says that it's absolutely meta in cow.
No, that's not necessarily true. Sinzar pulls on any GLEX. Any GLEX.
No, he doesn't. Like
no.
Sinzar, right? Sinzar, you need it to be good too.
No, I just pull on the Clash of Wills global exclusives. Like for example, the Mont one or whatever. I didn't pull on that because it wasn't the Clash unit. But yeah, I pull pretty much on the Clash units only as long as they're Clash, whether they're good or bad. And usually it pays off. They're worth it. Sometimes they're pretty terrible and trash, like Olivera. But then a year later, Olivera goes from dumpster tier to amazing. So maybe the bad ones will as well. But actually, Olive is already pretty good. So she's actually really strong as it is right now.
She's really good. Yeah, she's like a magic version of Regina from JP. But like
people keep saying that, and I completely disagree. I wish they would stop saying that. The only similarity is the fact that they're both mages that use a gun. The similarity is in there. That is
no, that's not true. I mean, they have the exact same burst setup. So if you don't burst with Olive's SLB, they work pretty similarly.
Okay, so you're saying like if you don't use Esther's LB, she's a bolting strike chainer. That's
Okay, that's a good point. I'm
But
gonna cede to that, but
the thing about her
but
SLB isn't it only good in Cow and outside of Cow?
It is her best burst everywhere in the game. You will never use the finisher unless you don't understand that her SLB is better.
yeah. So the thing is, like, it also very much heavily depends on your gear and calcs. Like, I think that maybe in the wiki sheets, the finisher might be the go-to because of not enough external support and so on. But yeah, her SLB outperforms. Like I was taking a peek at your sheet, Sinzar, and you have her just slightly below Ibarra, which technically puts her on top of Cow because she's
Yes.
not element locked.
Yeah, the Ibarra thing, like I'm considering to delete an Ibarra from the sheet because like the build is technically accurate, but it's such a rare scenario for that to ever come up, and it really like throws people off. But if we ignore the extremely niche Ibarra that will almost never be valid, yeah, she is the #1 burster in Clash.
Which is very nice. She is using her SLB, but as we kind of talked about it in the Newsday, Cow is not the worst format for SLB units, actually. So that it works, I guess. Like it does delay the amount of turns you can burst on. It puts the new card in danger, though, right? Because the new card seems to only last for 5 turns. Is that right? Did I get that right?
That is correct. And if you're wanting to take advantage of that, you would have to do your big burst within the first 5 turns. That being said, like with the exception of maybe 2 Clash of Wills ever, you always do your big burst in the first 5 turns in Clash. Your big score burst, and then you finish off the fight in the next few turns, not really caring about how big the burst is. But yeah, it's like virtually always your big burst is in the first 5 turns in Clash anyway, usually exactly on turn 5. And this one, I've already rank 1 Clash, and once again, turn 5 was the big score burst. So it works out fine.
Okay, that's good. That's
So
that's good to know.
Only thing about her is that it's in principle she's an SLB unit, and SLB units are usually meh in my books. But it's like GLEX, most people are gonna pull anyways. What's really weird is that before Gumi would never cross this line. Now they've crossed the line of SLB. They never had a trans DPS unit before Chizuru. Now we have a trans DPS unit in Chizuru. So I think it's really interesting that they're just now a bit more brave with their unit designs.
Honestly, I really think what Sinzar told me on the Newsday is true here. That this is a financial decision in a way, because if you think about it this way, Shadow, you don't have to make 2 sprites for SLB unit.
Oh
so
my
it's
goodness!
cheaper to make.
I know, and that's why I hate JP units, because most of them are like that because you don't want to make 2 sprites and 2 separate animations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they still have to do like 2 LB animations, but yeah, definitely like there's a lot of work not having to be done.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to make 2 idle animations, no 2 attack animations. Yeah,
So I mean, one thing that I'm gonna say that's beneficial for Olive, and again, Sinzar is not gonna agree with me because Sinzar is a Meta Knight. But one thing that I do like about Olive is that, so look at Tyvus. What happens when Tyvus doesn't have his SLB?
He's useless.
Well, he would use his regular LB, but the problem is Tyvus's regular LB is literally less than half the modifier, so you're taking a massive penalty.
Exactly.
Olive's regular LB is the exact same damage as her SLB. They are both the same modifier. So
wait, what? I did not know that.
Oh yeah, you just
wait, wasn't that outside
of Clash?
Bharos?
Yeah.
Oh, outside of Clash. Okay, yeah, because she doesn't have morale on her base. Exactly.
Yes. So inside Clash, the SLB is way better because that one scales higher up. But outside Clash, they're identical.
Right. So, but I was also gonna not just talk about the LB. That's actually a very nice bonus I never thought about. But also, she does have her finishing mechanic, the pentacasting, 4 modifiers, and then a finisher that also does decent damage. So she's never gonna be dead in the water. Like she's never gonna be like Graf, right? Like she's not gonna be defending for 4 turns. She can keep dishing out damage.
Yes.
Hey, the other thing, you guys I don't talk about this ever, but it's the STMR. Holy crap, her STMR is fucking amazing.
It's fucking good. I mean, I was so happy to get 2 olives, not because I'm gonna get EX levels, but holy shit, Summer Sparky, so good. Like, I mean, it's a TDH gun with 240 flat magic and 150% true dual hand, and isn't it more?
Killers.
No, that's it.
Yes,
And
killers.
killers, right? Killers, yeah. It's like so good. I mean, like Sinzar said, if you combine this with her TMR that allows you use of guns, increases LB damage, and gives you 60% magic, holy shit.
Yeah,
And you can put this on anyone.
It's a better version of the Fryevia TMR combo, because Fryevias used to be the best in terms of like forcing people to use magic damage. But now
But
this is
I
much
mean,
better.
far better, because
Oh, yeah.
with the 150 equipment magic on the gun, it makes gearing non-TDH mages much easier. Like I like Renoa, for instance, but it's quite tricky to build her properly for TDH while getting a lot of killers. With this, going to be a piece of cake.
Exactly.
The more important thing too is, while Frievia.
What is more important than gearing Renoa? I want to hear this.
Well, exactly, because while Frievia could do the whole thing with the sword stuff and do the sword in peril, the problem is Frievia has, relatively speaking, bad breaks. While on the other hand, Olive is literally the best breaker in the game for Spirit. So you're bringing Olive anyway. You're not really making any sacrifice. So you're by giving the gun to Renoa, for example, you're bringing Olive anyway to break for Renoa. Olive is going to gun in peril for Renoa. And yeah, that's why it's just a lot better of a suite altogether on Olive as opposed to Frievia.
True. No, that's a good point. I mean, I really appreciate that about Louise back in the day, where like you're bringing her and she's gonna do all of these things for you anyway and enable it. Although I don't like us shitting on Frievia, okay? Like Frievia is a good unit. let's not call her bad, okay?
Yeah, don't tell Sinzar that he hates Fryevia.
Well, can we at least admit that everyone's hype for the quote-unquote Frievia card to save Frievia completely missed the mark? Like, Frievia is never going to use this card.
Okay, so let's talk about this card.
Well, hold on. Are we done with the unit, though? Yeah, we are, right?
We actually barely even talked about Olive, other than saying she's a DPS. But honestly,
she's a DPS. What else is there?
That is basically where it ends. She is very, very high damage, one of the highest on global. But the problem is that's basically all she does. Unlike the last year of exclusives, she has no party support whatsoever. Her killers are self-only. Her buffs are self-only. Everything is self-only. The only thing she brings to anyone other than herself is the spirit break. I mean, which is nice and all, but at the very least, they could have given her an AoE Aqua Killer for the Clash or something, but she has nothing for the party.
I was a bit surprised. Honestly, because we've been spoiled, but we are kind of used to now GLEX cow units having at least some party versatility, right? Like at least some value to your entire party, even if they are a pure DPS unit like Chizuru, for instance. She can still do stuff for your party. But this is a very selfish unit. Again, a very good unit, but selfish. She has very high killers, though. She gives herself 200% killers. We should mention that. But yeah,
guys,
I hear what you're saying.
I have a question.
Yep.
If, knowing that we know about Chizuru and Olive, do you think Wilk still deserves the premium treatment that he got a month ago?
I don't think he deserved it a month ago. How you like that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I agree. He was premium a month ago, but times move fucking fast in GL world. But yeah, I think we've talked about Olive enough. I think we can go and we should say that her 90% spirit break is tied to her SLB, meaning that you cannot turn one spirit break. So you're gonna be whatever you're gonna be doing, you're gonna be waiting until at the earliest turn 3. She has 85% on her base LB instead. So that's a small downside, I guess, should be mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's about it, right?
I can't much that or.
We should also mention that she's a decent cow breaker as well, because she actually breaks all stats by 85%, which compared to I don't know, if you're bringing Kaido or something, for only because I was thinking of this problem. I was thinking of like, okay, if you're bringing Olive now, you need the spirit break. Of course, she brings it herself, but then you also need a physical breaker now because you obviously want to bring Chizuru. But I guess again in Cow that's not that big of a problem because Chizuru has her own, and I guess you could even survive with the 85, right, Sinzar? Like that's not a huge damage loss.
Oh yeah, breaks and Clash of Wills are almost irrelevant. You could literally go with like just the Obsidian Bracer, and you're totally fine. Because Clash of Wills has excessively high passive stats. The difference between an 80 break and a 90 break is like 3%. It's like nothing. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. The big 90 breaks are a big deal in Dark Visions. They are basically meaningless in Clash of Wills. In fact, the current Clash of Wills I just did, I only used 80% breaks, and I did 4.1 billion. So yeah.
Why? You had Olive. You could use at least 85.
Oh no, I no. My rank 1 team did not use Olive at all. She wasn't even on the team.
What? Okay, that's ominous. But let's
No,
get to that.
no. It wasn't that at all. It's because I pre-built the team last night, and then because this clash I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute, but this Clash of Wills is so easy. I ranked 1 in the first hour with the team I made last night. It was a joke.
Oh, okay. That's a bit disappointing. But let's get to that soon. Then let's get to that soon.
We need to talk about the new card though.
We do. Yeah. Thank you for bringing us back to that, Shadow.
The Friavia card is basically kind of dumb stats. No one cares about the stats, but there's a little thing at the end where it's the first 5 turns in Clash. No, sorry, the first 5 turns, if you have a morale-based LB damage, it gets a modifier boost. It's really interesting, but it's also the first 5 turns, which is
but it's fairly large, right? Like it's 50x modifier increase.
Users like Chizuru probably will see the biggest benefit, which is ironic because she was already super strong anyways.
Yeah, Chizuru Oliveira gets a 4x boost on that, so Oliveira gets a 200x modifier boost thanks to that. Chiz, does anyone else like Sky, I guess?
Pretty much just about everyone that has a morale scaling LB will want this. Even Sky.
Would they want it over a 500 flat stat card like Dazzling or Kaito or something?
The higher your base LB mod, the less impactful getting 50 to 100 to 200 more is going to matter. For someone like Oliveira, absolutely. He quad diffs. So that's a 4 times application to Oliveira. Best in slot card by far. For Chizuru, it double dips. So a 100x modifier is definitely worth losing 500 flat attack. For Sky, who has like a 760 LB anyway, and then going to like, I don't know, 810 or something, or even more than that with Silvio in the party, that would require me to get out the calculator and calc it, which I will do eventually. I haven't yet, but that one is less of an absolute. But I mean, it's definitely it's definitely worth it on like Chizuru, and also it's probably going to be really worth it on Olive because Olive's LB is morale scaling. So this will be like probably Olive's best in slot, honestly.
What about Esther?
But really, like, I mean, it's so hard because like Olive, what does Olive have max stacked? She has like 450.
450 before any other boost, yes. So, Sylvie brings it higher, the card can bring it higher, but on her own, it's a 450 LB, yes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I really want to see some calcs here because, like, it's kind of like a 10% increase in mod, and then the question is, how does that stack up to 500 flat stat? Because like that's what she's giving up. Like you'd be using Dazzling Demoness on Olive otherwise. So it's kind of interesting. Another problem with Sky also is that Sky doesn't double dip on this because it's morale only, and as far as I remember, only one portion of Sky's LB is morale, right?
Correct. Yeah, it would be just a plus 50 to Sky. So Sky is probably the biggest question mark for me without doing math because she has low base attack, high LB mod. And this is a card where you're losing more attack and gaining more LB mod. So you're scaling it in the wrong direction. Sky really prefers more flat stats as opposed to. Well, again, the math could say I'm wrong. That's just I have to calculate it.
Yeah, remember a month ago when we saw Sky and Esther get buffs, and we were like, "Why the hell are they giving Sky and Esther buffs?" Now we see why they did it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is power creep.
Chizuru jumped over both of them, and then now Oliveira jumped over Chizuru. So of course September's unit will jump over Oliveira, or not Oliveira, Olive.
Well, actually,
that.
it's funny that you said it that way, because Oliveira could be the top DV damage dealer with Frievia's card, given the immense boost it gives him.
That is true. Yeah, I actually haven't calculated this on Oliveira either.
Because, like, I mean, it's 200x. 200x LB mod increase, and then of course on top of that you have Sylvie. Oliveira also can use the focus from Dark Rain. Yeah, like it's interesting. It's interesting to see. Although again, Oliveira's biggest downside is that he is dark locked, and we don't have that many dark cows.
Correct. Yeah, the current one is not weak to dark, so we're not going to be testing him out this month.
Yeah. But very good. I mean, it is a good card. It's. I'm gonna say it's not as meta defining as some of the other cards, like Dazzling Demoness and so on, right? Or is that just me?
No, that's correct.
Demon is the only one that was kind of quote unquote meta defining.
Probably, yeah. I guess the very first one was for a while. The rain card, the double hand one, it was really good for a while.
Yeah, with Great Sword and Peril and stuff, it was really nice.
Actually, to be honest, I still use the hell out of that one because of the Great Sword and Peril, and I've been waiting for them to do more versions of that, like an auto Rod and Peril or an auto Katana and Peril, whatever. And we haven't yet. But that is, I use that consistently everywhere. I love that card. So
especially Rod, because fuck that in Peril. Like holy shit, it's only garbage units. Like we need a new Rod and Peril source for real. Like. I'm just so happy we don't have to equip rods on people. We can just equip guns now. Like, guns are a thing again. Louise kind of had the gun meta a while back, and now it's being brought back with Olive. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we should probably move on. We've been fawning over juicy melons for far too long. So
yeah, but the other units aren't much worth to talk about. We've got Ruby Conte and Barbarisha.
Yeah, so Ruby Conte is, as I understand it, basically worthless, right? Or is there any saving grace to this unit?
No, pretty much. He did have use in the Final Fantasy IV Chronicle, but because of the whole drama of delays, they removed the Final Fantasy IV lock, which means there's really no reason to ever use Rubicon.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it this way, his LB does 65x modifier with a 65x damage over time effect. Okay.
Well, no, the base form you never use the shift form. The shift form has a 230 XLB.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Which is still really low. Yeah, it's a 130, and he's got a self mod boost to 100x. So I mean that's still way too low to matter. But Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then Barbie though so one thing that happened here is that they buffed her TMR and STMR, so they are slightly better now. They are amazing now. They are so good.
TMR and STMR are very good. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have so many killers now that her TMR also got some magic on it. It's very nice. Like you're going to be equipping this a lot, I guess. Her STMR though, I feel like is still quite niche. Like you're going to be using that against for people that want to throw out tornadoes, basically.
Yeah, it like really the STMR. It's an amazing human killer for mages. Source, which is very very common. I realize that, but more importantly, it's basically for Renoa. Renoa can now do legitimate wind damage on like a wind mage stage with Barbarisha as a partner, and it's not like top of the meta or anything, but it's better than it was because of this upgrade.
And that makes me very happy. I'm very happy. Like I know this was a thing when Barbarisha wasn't released that like this would have buffed, but now it's here, so I am happy, and I'm definitely going to be using it. Too bad it came out the day after DV closed, because I would have definitely used this on my Renoa in the Magic stage.
Do you think that timing had anything to do with that? Because like,
oh yeah, 100%.
It's magical human killer. It's wind made. Like this is everything against the Dark Gygus fight, and they hold it to literally the day Dark Gygus closes. Like that is frustrating.
Well, I mean, either it's intentional or it was just a mistake, and it was supposed to come sooner, but then something else happened. Because it's very uncannily good for the Jagex fight. I mean, first of all, it helps. I mean, Barbarisha would be good in that fight to begin with. Like she would, especially because there are so few mages that actually fit that fight, and buffing Renoa. I mean, I doubt this was intentional because it's not that big of a deal, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. And again, we're talking like Barbarisha is going to solo carry the fight. That is not the case. It's just a usable option in a fight that had basically no options except one single team. This would have been some options, but yes, no one was going to perfect score the Gygas with Barbarisha Renoa. It is still way less damage than the teams people were using.
So I'm not that sure this was delayed on purpose. I think this was maybe a happy or an unhappy coincidence. Honestly, besides, even if you had this and you were bringing Renoa, if you had Dark Fina like I have, well, Renoa wasn't chaining Tornado with Dark Fina, so you were not going to be using Tornado anyway. Although, nice accessory for some killers.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so we've gone over the units. What more did we receive this week? Well, obviously, Cow. Did we get anything else?
Technically, exclusive item world with a weird sword, but that's it.
That too. No, we also got the Mind Flayer fight, and it's a little tricky. I already went in there and cleared it, and it took my fully powered team 2 turns to get it done, which is not hard. But I guarantee you're going to be seeing some complaints from newer players. Like, this is insane.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you couldn't OTK it, or at least I couldn't. I tried OTKing it, so I just used the same team and went to turn 2 with a slightly bigger setup, and then I could go OTK it. Because Chizuru is fucking broken, but otherwise, it wasn't that bad.
Pretty much the same thing for me. When I first went in with my usual team, the whole team got slaughtered. I'm like, whoa, hold on. So then I put Chow on the party for preemptive cover. That handled that very easily. If you don't have Chow, General Celeste did the same thing.
Or I used Ashe actually, but she's my new flavor.
There you go.
I used Ashe too. Ashe is so good.
And then I did my burst again, and it didn't work again. So then I said, okay, that's it. And then I geared the team properly, and then I killed it on turn 2.
Okay, now that Bharos brought Ashe up, let me just say this. Ashe is actually low-key a really, really good magic tank, in my experience using her the last 2 weeks. I've taken her.
What do you mean low-key? She's an excellent magic tank. You're saying it as if nobody knew this.
People were sleeping on her as if she was the troll of the banner.
I think the problem is that people want Balthier. That's kind of the problem. But honestly, to me, I think Ashe is the better unit in every aspect. Maybe I'm gonna get pitchforked for this, but yeah.
No, I pretty much disagree. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I disagree with the reasoning you're giving. I think it's not because people were hyped about Balthier or because anyone disagrees that Ashe is a good tank. It's just that we don't need a bulky magic tank. We need a utility magic tank. And now, while Ashe does have some, the problem is everyone comparing Ashe is comparing her to Chow, and she does less than Chow does, and that's kind of the core problem here.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, but Chow is also fundamentally broken.
I don't want to use Chow. I want to use an FF12 unit.
That's really, really good. And Ashe is extremely good. Ashe is probably tied with Chow. If you don't need his morale gain, Ashe is maybe even better because, in my opinion, she is bulkier, I think, than Chow. So, but it's just
I still feel Chow has the bigger. I was gonna say penis, but that feels so wrong talking about a dog way. But support kit, he does have the bigger support kit though. Even though Ashe's is good, although Ashe. This wasn't Ashe's banner though, Shadow. Stop simping for Final Fantasy 12 units.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I pulled on every single one of these Final Fantasy 12 banners, and I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit.
Well, you got all of them, so congratulations.
Thank you. It feels like an achievement.
And I do agree. I really, really like Ashe. I love the design. She's like Celeste 2.0 in my mind, and I just really enjoy her. So let's now talk about the actual units.
Final thing about Az. She has she has an on-demand 45% fire amp. How many units can say that? All right, that's it.
It's quite a few, actually. I'm sorry.
I was about to say a bunch.
And also, it's 35, not 45.
EX3, she gets 45.
Oh, she does? Okay, I did not.
AoE
I don't
45.
have EX3. Okay. Yeah, but still quite a bunch. I'm sorry. but like there are quite a few nowadays. Anyway, let's then talk about Cow. So, Sinzar, you said it was ridiculously easy. My experience only went up to 85, and then the Mirage started trolling me, so I just didn't do OTKs anymore. So I'm waiting for orbs. So what can you tell us about it?
Okay, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying it's ridiculously easy because there are going to be people that struggle and get mad at me for saying that. My qualification for saying it's ridiculously easy is the fact that within less than an hour of working on it, blind, no data mine, not even the new unit, I had already ranked 1. So that's my classification for saying.
I mean, that's a very good definition of it being ridiculously easy. Like, yeah, sure, it's you. You're basically a god at Cow and Trials, but still, that sounds very excessive. Like within an hour is yeah.
Yes. So the thing with this clash is the boss is incredibly squishy. Like I did 4.1 billion. I didn't have morale maxed out. I had no bird killer buff. I wasn't using the new units, and I did 4.1 billion. So I massively overcast. And that is with all modifiers on. So it was super easy. The AI, well, I don't know if it's complex or not. All I know is that I didn't know what was going on, and it didn't really matter because no one was really dying or anything, except in phase 2. Now, if you ever watch my live stream of my rank 1 attempts, once I got into phase 2, I don't know what the hell was going on, but everyone was dying. But because Sylvie is so broken, unless you like completely catastrophically wipe out the party, Sylvie is just going to counter and bring everyone back. And that's how my phase 2 went. Every turn, people just kept dying. Sylvie bring them all back, and we just continued and finished off the fight. And I won.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, you know, when Riku came out first, and we were talking about how dumb it is to have an AOE re-raise, and I still hold by that. It was dumb. And I really like Paladin Sylvie as a unit, but giving her AOE re-raise on a counter was fucking dumb.
AOE raise and re-raise, meaning you don't even lose your unit's turn, which is the big deal.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like it's so dumb. But okay, I'm happy that like it actually works really well. So yeah, this clash is lightning, fire, and what now? Earth? No,
Light.
not Earth.
Light.
Yeah. So basically, we've already said this, but Sylvie, obviously, with 100% amp, is what you're going to be using. You actually didn't even use Olive, Sinzar. So that's going to be. This might be the first Cow I cap, because if it sounds so easy, then maybe even I have the time to actually gear my units.
Do you have Kaito? That is one question. I actually did not use Kaito, but after seeing the fight, I 1000% should have. It would have been so much easier if I had brought Kaito.
Yeah, I have Kaito, I have Chiz, I have Olive. I mean, should be doable, I'm guessing.
That's a very easy.
How essential is Chow? Because I don't have her at EX3. I only have Maeve at EX3.
I think Maeve is totally. I don't know, because when Maeve re-raises, she's not magic covering. That's going to be a concern in phase 2.
Hey, bring Ash.
All right, Ash it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So because then again, I did it completely blind, no data mine. So once we see the data mine and really like plan it out, it's very possible that I can take that train wreck of a phase 2 and make it a smooth sail. No one dies. I don't know, but
yeah, but it sounds like if you had Sylvie, everything worked out anyway. So that's good to know. That's good to know.
The way my phase 2 would go, I'd cover with Chow, he'd cover 1 or 2 attacks, then he'd die. He'd re-raise, he'd cover 1 or 2 more attacks, he'd die again. Then the party took 1 or 2 attacks, they all die and re-raise. The party took a few more attacks, they all died again. But then Sylvie, because she's super thick, she'd bring everybody back, and we just continued.
So you're saying Sylvie never died through all that?
She never did. Nope.
Well, I mean, you can literally gear Sylvie like a fucking tank. So, you know, with that and with like re-raise, and she's always geared for evasion anyway. Come on, she's not dying.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, very interesting. I can't wait to test it out. It's not going to be today, but I'm hoping to get some licks in tomorrow.
Sorry, another thing that happened this week, if we're done talking about Cow, is daily frag dungeons.
Yes.
So do your daily frags.
I did my daily frag today, and I actually forgot to do the reset trick because I didn't know what to expect. So I thought I missed it, but then I actually didn't miss it. Well, I mean, I did miss it, but now I know what to expect. So what happens is that a tip to anyone listening, what you want to do is you just want to wait until your menu button lights up in the bottom right. As soon as that lights up, you hit it. And the prerequisite is you need to bring a shifted unit. So a unit that has a base form and it needs to be shifted into its shift form. Because that kind of gives you that time window to tap the menu button and see how many drops you got. So tomorrow I'm resetting.
How many times are you going to reset? Are you going to reset until you get like a 10 drop, a 9 drop, an 8 drop? At what point are you going to be like, this is enough?
Honestly, if I'm going to answer honestly, I'll probably not be resetting. I'll just do it daily. But no. I mean, I might try at least a couple of times. Like if I get 5 or 6, I might go like 7. Maybe 7 is a good limit for me. You know, at least 2 units got 2 then.
Actually planning to reset for 8 each day. In JP, I don't really do it, so I don't really have the experience of how tedious that would be. Today, my very first attempt got 8, so like I didn't do any resetting because I didn't need to. But reading comments from other players, some of them are saying it takes them like 10 plus tries to get an 8 drop, and at that point, I might just take 7 drops and be happy.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot. Let's see. I mean, again, I'm not that desperate for shards. I'm just happy we're getting them on a daily level. That's really what I'm super happy about because I have many units that are now getting up to the EX levels I need them at. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. And besides, you know, a lot of people have been hating on this, but I actually enjoy having a steady progression to return to every day, even though it's this tiny thing. I do enjoy coming back and, you know, getting yet another shard towards Olive's EX3. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And I think that wraps up the week.
Well, I'm just going to mention something that Sinzar mentioned to me and something that Demos from the Discord has also been saying. But in JP, apparently the daily shard dungeon does get buffed from time to time in certain events and so on. And the drop rates, well, the drop rates are not doubled. The drops are doubled, which is quite powerful. I don't know if we're going to get that because we haven't heard anything about it.
They haven't mentioned it. I would assume.
We just got this, so I don't think they'll have drop rates anytime soon. Hopefully.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I like I am fine with if it doesn't drop. I'm just saying that they're like people have been saying that our GL source of shards from before was just as good as JP, which hasn't been true for quite a while since JP has not only had the daily, they had the daily and the double drop from time to time. So they have gotten a lot more shards than we have. But now at least we have the daily.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what units are you running?
For me, it's Dark Rain, the premium Dark Fina, and then a few units I have at EX1 that aren't EX2 yet. With like the Vaughn, I just got Vaughn in today's daily 60 pull, so
nice.
or weekly 60 pull. So I got him, and then I've got Leftia and Lena in there for just hitting EX2 at some point because then you get Warring Spirit, it makes them a little easier to use.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. Yeah, you Shadow?
Right now I have
Final Fantasy 12 units. It's like just Final Fantasy 12 units.
I mean, I do have both here and there, but I do have Chow and then Kaito and Wilk. Sylvie, because they're all EX2. I need an EX3.
Oh shit, you just reminded me I need to remove my Kaito because I will... Yeah, actually, I don't know. Sinzar, maybe you can advise me here. So I put my Kaito in there. He only lacks 50. Now, I did buy the Adventure Crest pack, meaning I will get another one of these picks, unit picks, and
you actually get that no matter what. The free pick is on the free side.
Oh, okay. So, then I would have gotten... everyone gets it. Anyway, I was planning on taking a Kaito there, because that would bring Kaito to EX3. But now that the daily is here, I can just run Kaito through the daily. EX3 isn't a huge deal for him anyway. Would it make sense to get Leftia, given that we just got heroic quests that we didn't talk about? Wow, this was such a professional segue into that. Because Leftia's gear gives you 100% amp, right? Single target amp to fire.
Yes, and I guess if you have 0 Leftia, I'd say sure. Honestly speaking, I don't know how relevant that's really going to be because Sylvie exists. If you don't have Sylvie, then absolutely, but I assume you do.
And I mean, are you ever going to bring Leftia over like Roberta? I mean, sure, she would give one unit 100%, but like Roberta brings so much more.
Yeah,
I feel like
maybe
she'd be a dead slot.
maybe on like a sub boss in Dark Visions that is weak to fire but is not weak to thunder or earth, then maybe Leftia could justify her slot to bring someone like Tyvus as well. To I guess segue again. Same thing, the heroic quest. Gumi really messed up this week. Because you know the heroic quest we're talking about, the run to gear came out that buffs up Tyvus. It doesn't work. It's broken.
No. Oh, that's
Yeah.
a shame. Well, we don't really have anything big to use Tyvus on yet, but I really hope that gets fixed soon.
What exactly is broken about it? Just doesn't work?
Okay. So it works, but the way it works is the helm gives Runda 3 different skills. All of these skills buff Tyvus by 60x modifier for the next turn, and he triple casts all of these. Right? It's like with flavor. It's called like here we go, get ready on my mark, something like that. Like a flavor thing. But Gumi forgot to add these skills to Runda's triple cast. So Runda can't triple cast them, meaning you can't use all 3. You can only use 1, and that's worthless. And it's hilarious. It's like whoops.
But that's obviously gonna get fixed. That's obviously gonna get fixed.
I hope so. The better question is when's it going to be fixed? Like, please fix it next maintenance at the very latest. Because actually, even before that, because honestly, the current Clash of Wills is weak to fire, and as a budget option, Runda plus Tyvus and Clash of Wills could be a very relevant option because people are already rank 1 scoring with Runda on the party for his mitigations, obviously. So unlike like a Dark Visions fight, Runda is not a dead slot. You're bringing him anyway. So that means Tyvus is literally, assuming it worked, a like 750x LB Thunder. That's stronger than Esther. So yeah, they should fix that.
Yeah, I mean, technically stronger than Sky as well because Sky's stats are fucking trash.
Yeah. So they really need to fix that like tonight.
Yeah, that would be very nice. Actually, I would love to actually try a Tyvus cap as well using Runda as a buffer. Maybe not Leftia because but let's see. I might then pick Leftia just because I don't have any, and I don't really have any other units I want. I would take another Fryevia, but I can't because I've already taken one. So I'm just gonna probably go with a Leftia then.
Speaking on that topic, this is actually a huge deal for many, many players. I have to put this word out there. Okay, so there's another big humbug that Gumi did. As you were talking about, Bharos, one of the Adventure Crest rewards is the Unit of Choice ticket, right?
Yeah.
Well, that comes from getting 100,000 event points in the item world. Most people, if you're not like crazy refreshing, are not going to hit that until midway of the second week. The Unit of Choice shop closes this week. So if you don't refresh and get that ticket this week, you can't even use it. You can't even use
it. That's a bit
very good point. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, I always felt that the whenever we have item world Adventure Crest requirements, they are so incredibly higher than anything else. Like a raid, you cap out on the first day. Mog King, same thing. But like for item world, well, unless you're refreshing like a madman, you're going to be capping that in a week.
And you have to refresh, or you're going to miss your Unit of Choice ticket for Neovisions.
Yeah, I hope Gumi hears this because like an easy fix is obviously just extending that shop for another week. But that's a very good point. So I did a lot of refreshing already, so I'm probably gonna be hitting 100 before the weekends. But yeah, I mean, good to know. Good to know.
I have so much. I don't know if this is true for everyone. I have so much item world warps. I have no idea what to do with them. So maybe now I can use it.
Now you know what you need to do with them. Excellent, and then you can pick a unit that's probably like worthless because meta moves so fucking fast. And these units that we get to pick are I mean, I'm of course kidding because obviously both Roberta and Kaito are in there and they're both fucking amazing units. But you know, like the actual meta of like Sylvie, well now Olive, Chizuru, Esther, they're not in there. Chow.
Rip Wilk.
Yeah, I actually forgot Wilk. I mean, Wilk is still strong. No shade on him.
He was on my rank 1 team for Clash. That being said, when I rerun it, he's the first one getting kicked off the team.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's still a very good unit. Let's and he also has that 90% defense break, which is very nice. Like I only have Lara to do Lara and Kaito, but
He's still the
again,
best 90% breaker in TV.
Kaito, or
TV.
Wilk, for sure. Yeah, problem with Kaito and Lara is that they basically do very low damage compared to the rest. So, they're only that's a problem.
I'm pretty glad that we went on and created so much content in like mostly a dead week.
Yeah, but like nobody's still listening. Like people fell asleep a long time ago, and I'm so sorry because I know some of you listen to us while driving to work. Like I hope we did not kill you or hurt somebody in traffic. It's Shadow's fault.
Yeah.
I literally only wanted to come on here to do like a couple of melon jokes, and that's it.
See, every time Bharos didn't talk during the podcast, he probably went for quickie FAP. So just imagine that, and then you'll have.
Oh no! I never stopped the FAP. Like.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, now we're way out of line. All right, we need to close this up.
This is where we draw the line. This is where we draw the line.
This is where we draw the line.
All right, thanks for coming on, Sinzar.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.